probably this is the cheapest. I forgot to showcase it. Again, this is the cheapest because it's mostly from the latest set. It's Kalgara. The deck itself is at around the price of Nami, but it can get a lot of wins against some of the most played decks, and you can call it a rogue deck. A rogue deck is something that can get a win from time to time, but it's not always that consistent. So for example, Lucci is a meta deck because it's consistent. Kalgara is a rogue deck, but it's cheaper, so maybe you want to pick this one up if you want to go on the competitive scene and not just do math with Nami, because Nami plays its own game. Won't get into detail. Probably the most expensive one, again, Ace. So this is $40. You need 4 aces for this specific version of the deck. There's others which only play, I think, 2 aces, but you can go with whatever you like. 4 pieces, $40 out of 66. Which means that the rest of the deck you can build for $20, let's say shipping included, and you only need the aces. So if you only get 2 aces, that's gonna be a $20 discount. So probably for $50 shipped, you can get the whole deck. Because come on, ladies and gents, take a look at those prices. S-Snake, $1. The rest are cents. Like there's older cards that maybe your friends have around, that you can borrow, or they can even give you if they have more copies. Like Satori has been around for a while. It's from OP05, and it's most likely the case that some of your friends already have it. Just ask around your locals. But again, for $50, even less if you don't want to play 4 aces, you can build a deck that's pretty nice. Now, the other one that I think is awesome and fun is Pudding, and then we're gonna take a look at Marco. This is, oh yeah, let's see the Kalgara with the bling version. Ready? So the bling, it's at almost $500. Let's see what's the most expensive card. So we have 30 for Shura. Again, the championship cards tend to be pretty expensive if you take a look there. Hence why most of the people want to go for such cards. But yeah, it seems like this is the most expensive one, like $30, 20, 12, the first anniversary, that's a pretty expensive one. Viper at $9, the altered, which is less than the anniversary one. So in short, not the most expensive one. Again, pre-release and so on and so forth, not the most expensive ones. But yeah, if you want to build the deck itself, it's gonna be at around $50 at most. Depends on how many aces you want to play. 2 to 4, that's perfectly fine. Then we have Pudding, which can be pretty expensive. From what I remember, you have quite some cards that are used in yellow. Again, Flampe, you can use that in a lot of decks. So as you can see, there's a lot of cards that you can use here and there. So right now this one is sitting at $216. So let's say around $200, out of which the most expensive Ace, Charlotte Lin at $8. Not too bad. But again, a pretty nice deck, pretty consistent. Let's see the bling. And that's why I wanted to show you this one. It has a lot of fancy cards. What? So you get Pudding, which is a championship card, and then you get Brûlé, again a championship card at $20. Not that expensive because it's not the fanciest one. Miss All Sunday, an SP card. I think that it looks absolutely beautiful. Queen, again, $100 for a card. It's a treasurer. Pretty crazy if you ask me. And this is something that you can win if you top with the deck. So yeah, this is pretty much how much you pay for a bling and how the card looks. I think it's really nice. Like, take a look at this one, and then boom, you have the bling version, which looks, if you ask me, way better. Is it 10 times better? Debatable. Depends who you're asking. And then the last deck, this is a different approach to Zoro and controlling the board with Lucci. So it's kind of a mix of those two, but it's a $20 build. Pretty expensive if you ask me. If you want to play it, feel free to try it. It gets way better with the new decks that are gonna come around the corner in I think 3 weeks, something like that. We're gonna do an updated version of this whole deck breakdown and prices at that point. This deck is really nice. You can bling it quite a lot. We have the Flamingo, we have Izzo, we have Jozo, the championship one, we have Marco, the treasurer one. We also have the Rayleigh manga, and this is probably one of my favorite artworks for Newgate. If you want to build a normal version, that's not 5k, that's only 200. but it's a deck that can be really fun to play, so you can pick out of those. But if you ask me, I take a look at those. And how do I do that? Let's take a look at the leaders. Jewelry, Bonnie, and so on and so forth. I build the average prices, so basically multiple decks can have multiple builds. Obviously not everyone is going to play the same thing. So if you want to take a look only based on the price, Kalgara is going to be your cheapest choice. But the average placing for that is going to be around 7. While with Nami, you're going to pay 55 bucks, a little bit more expensive, but the average placing is 3rd place. Now, this is a lot more difficult to play, so not many people manage to top with Nami, but it's a good deck if you want to try. A lot of people are not gonna have fun playing against you in your locals, but the same thing goes with Kalgara and Zoro or Lucci, so depending on the deck you're gonna have some good matchups and some really good matchups, but also some bad ones. But overall, value for your money, Kalgara can get you 7th place, Nami can get you 3rd place. If you want something that doesn't play its own game, maybe you can go for Kalgara. Depending on the ace, you can pay, as I said, around 50 bucks, and that's gonna get you a pretty nice place if you manage to learn the deck really well. Boa, I think I only have one entry for it, which is the 1st place, hence why for only 100 bucks you get the 1st place. Or do I have something else for Boa? No, I do not. Yes, only 105. Luffy, yeah, this is one from OP05. You can see the leader name, the price for it. We have Katakuri at 140. That's cheaper than NL. It's also a yellow deck. The most expensive one that you can build is the starter deck 14 Luffy at 400 bucks. The 13 Luffy at 350. You got Perona, Rob Lucci with an average of 250, not the most expensive, but one of the most consistent. So if you take a look here, it's 3.6, but it's, yeah, quite expensive to build it, and you need a lot of time to master it. So if you take a look and sort it by the average placing, if you want, yeah, Boa has only an entry, which kind of states that it's a good deck, but it rarely makes the tops, and it makes it so rarely that it either is in top 16 or not. So that's why you only have this one, because it's only one entry. Nami, again, pretty consistent, and the same with Rob Lucci. So when I say that you got a few decks that are more consistent than the rest, and here I only have mainly top 8 and a couple of top 16. Nami, pretty good deck for like 50 bucks. You get a pretty good competitive deck. So this is competitive on the OP08 scene. Maybe Bonnie is better for you because it's only at 180. Kind of a similar average placing. If I were you, I'd pick one of the first ones. Probably not Nami because that's a bit more difficult to play, and not Boa Hancock. I'd probably go for Kalgara. It's not the most expensive, not the most consistent, but it's easier to look into. It's cheap. It's very cheap. So you can start playing for 45-16. And if you want a good and consistent deck, maybe you're gonna go for Nami, Lucci, or Bonnie, which got a pretty good average, and let's say that would put you in the range of 200 bucks. So if you want to consistently manage to get tops, you kind of need to pay around 200 bucks and learn the matchups really well. Other than that, if you just want to have some fun, you can even go for the Nami, and I'd highly recommend Kalgara because that's only 50 bucks. And again, you get a competitive deck, it's pretty easy and fun to play. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think it was pretty long. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section down below what you'd like to see next. My name is Ray. Bye.